up? Welcome to, once again, another episode of the Jankity Ass Podcast, number 44. Horns up, I guess.
Woo!
Me too, sure. As always, if you're listening, you can listen to us on all your favorite platforms. Podcast platforms, that is. And if you're watching, right now we're just on YouTube, but, I mean, YouTube's pretty much almost everything anyway. So, go to Multi-Murdy Media, like and subscribe there. Leave comments in the videos. You'll get the playlist for this podcast here. What the oh, never mind. It's getting a stupid error. You get this playlist. You'll get the, you'll also get Poncho's Paint Booth. That's my hobbies and, mostly 40K painting and stuff. And you'll also get the Gutsy Ass Gamer, which is video games and Twitch. Primarily, I've mostly just been doing, Fallout 4 in the super hard mode, which I'm finding isn't too bad if you're running around in the power armor. But that just makes it so that like playing in that is kind of like playing out of armor in like the normal modes. Yeah, so otherwise you just get fucked up. And even then still.
I loved using the power armor when I was playing that game. I actually at one point when I made like my super mega house in one of the settlements, I built like a whole armor rack room where I just put all the different armor collections you could get.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like still single and had way too much time in my hands.
Well, the thing is with playing in survival mode, so you can't just auto or what's the word? Fast travel. I can't just
they don't let you fast travel on that.
Can't fast travel. No.
Damn, that's punishing.
At all. You got to run around. It's really only like, I don't know, like 10 minutes to kind of like run somewhere. But yeah, it can be.
10 minutes I don't got.
Yeah, right. Well, especially the first time I tried playing through, I decided I was gonna do like a stealth and charisma mode. Oh, that was a motherfucker. It's like I think I've probably told you this before, but like just once you get into like the actual Boston ruins, like getting from like the Diamond City to Good Neighbor or whatever is literally like the equivalent of just like, you know, army crawling for like a good 3 days in real time. It's nasty. But with power armor, you know, I just went in and just blasted everything, or most everything. And you'll still get caught by like a suicider every once in a while, and that'll screw you up.
Yeah, that'll get you. I hear that'll get you good. Heard suicide bombing ain't that bad.
I also haven't had to deal with the assaultrons yet either, so. But I will. Let's see what else we got. I think yeah, I don't know how long Follow's gonna take me, but I am thinking about. I'm trying to figure out like what I want to play next. I probably go back and finish Odyssey or Assassin's Creed with all the add-ons because I never quite did that.
I heard Odyssey is one of the better ones too, actually.
Oh yeah, Odyssey's fun. It's kind of it's kind of a hard whatchamacallit. It's got a bit of a steep learning curve because you can't actually block.
Oh,
in
really?
That one. Yeah, you can like parry, but you have to like time it.
Yeah. Okay, so
yeah,
a little more like Dark Souls then. I mean, Dark Souls you could block, but it's like most shit. If you try to block it, you're dead. It's like they'll still cut you halfway, so it's like it's not even worth it half the time.
Well, yeah, and like every other game up to that one, you could just sit there.
Yeah.
Like this if you really wanted to. No, this one you gotta like roll all over the place.
Do a barrel roll.
Yeah, right. A little Tim Allen action for you. But it's either gonna be that or I'd go back and grab like the Nazi zombie series and just FPS shooting up a bunch of Nazis, but zombie Nazis. Yeah.
Two genres in one.
There you go. Let's see. Well, I guess I got a bunch of articles since we didn't really do a whole lot of them.
That's good. What are you drinking tonight?
Oh yeah, duh, important stuff. This time I got something that's worthy of the drinking horn. Not
Ooh,
actually a
nice.
beer. This time we've got the keeping it Lindy mead from WA
Ooh,
Meadworks.
nice.
Yeah,
Dude, nice.
I've noticed that like in the last few years or stuff like that, people are actually starting to make real mead here in the U.S.
Oh
And
yeah.
this guy's a nice fruity color there. Fruity, but not a bitch drink.
Let's see. I
Oh
actually
yeah,
have not a bitch drink tonight because I had time to go out and get one.
there you go.
This one's called Piraat Belgian Ale. Looks
Piraat. Oh
interesting.
yeah.
It is 10.5%. So that was what first caught my eye.
Oh,
It's
there you
also
go.
Belgian, and like I go back and forth on Belgians where half the time I love it and then half the time I hate it. So, but then I realize more and more I just hate the mass produced ones, like ones I can't remember,
Domestics.
basically. But imported Belgians are like fucking delicious. And so I'm
Oh
actually
yeah.
really excited to try this one. I actually got another one, but if I'm on the second one before this episode is over, I'm gonna have a bad time probably tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Although I'm excited because tomorrow is my last day of just uninterrupted working, so I'm pretty stoked on that. So
Oh
here, let's give this a try.
yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
definitely been
dangerously
there.
good. Oh, that's dangerously good.
It doesn't have like a nasty kick to it.
No, I it's got a bit of a tang at the end, but it's not bad. I'd probably prefer to drink this cold. I only just got it like literally 10 minutes ago, but like it's a European beer and like Europeans like never make their beer like it's a very American thing is to drink our stuff cold. And the reason actually from what I understand is because when shit's colder or hotter, it usually makes it taste better depending on what you're talking about. So if something is only really good warm if it's actually just good, you know? And so like if you ever order a beer, abroad, whenever we're able to do that again, warm shit is what you're gonna get most of the time.
Yeah.
But
And I
this
mean that.
looks good.
Yeah. I mean that's probably kind of what they're used to, especially if you're talking about like an old German or Belgian beer. If it's brewed in an abbey,
Oh yeah.
they didn't have coolers and stuff back in the
Oh no.
pre 1800s or whatever. And they're probably and of course which was probably a bit of an advantage to them during the 1940s too, because they could be like, oh, a bomb took out our cooler. Oh well,
Yeah.
it's the same shit,
I mean, we went straight to World
right?
War II there, but I'm down. Well, I mean, the other thing too, right, is like that's another reason I think part of the reason why like there was the misconception that like alcohol makes you warmer. And in reality, it just numbs the fuck out of you. You're drinking warm drink and it makes you feel warm. It's like, oh yeah, this like it's got some fire in it. It's my fire water.
I think that's more like hard stuff like whiskey though,
Well, yeah,
I
that's the
believe.
term. That's the term that it was. That's that where that originally applies to. But it's kind of the same idea, right? It's something. It's something that like lights a fire in you, makes you warmer, gets you through colder stuff. And
Yeah, it's your soul leaving your body. It's
yeah,
warm.
it's nice. It's the warmth of which we all pray for every day. Dear Lord, today please let it be the day I die. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Well, let's go ahead and warm up with a few articles. Guess might as well get into it. First one we got. Let's see, this one that's a couple weeks old. Airborne particle experts explain how to stay safe. Well, you know what? That one's boring. I'm gonna skip that one actually.
Yeah, too political, too current. Dumb. Don't want to do it.
Here we go. Death Row Records co-founder gets prison sentence commuted by President Trump after Snoop Dogg reaches out.
First off, that is one of the more 2020 headlines if I ever read it. Second off, Death Row's
2021.
well, still, regardless, uh, Death Row's founder. What is what?
So, this is not about Suge Knight.
Okay.
First of all, which I realized. So apparently, this is about, again, I know I'm not supposed to like read the articles, but this is about Michael Harris, or Harry O, who was apparently the guy who actually gave Suge Knight like a huge chunk of money to get it started, get Death Row Records started, like back
Oh,
in
Death
the
Row Records.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was like, I totally misheard that. Okay, that explains a lot of my confusion. And
Hence Snoop Dogg. Yeah.
yeah,
So, as to what reason, who knows? I mean, because like Trump pardoned like a bunch of rappers on his way out. He pardoned what's his face, Lil Wayne, for
like
whatever.
of all the things he did, I have no like. Was it like a really weird roundabout way of saying he wasn't racist? Like, like
Maybe.
why the fuck else would he do that? Right? I mean, and
Probably just like,
meanwhile, there's all these
see,
like,
I'm helping the blacks. See,
yeah, yeah, I am creating more
goodbye.
job opportunities for them. Uh, I mean, I I think that's probably I don't know. I don't know. I can't pretend to know what went on in that guy's head. You know.
I would assume I had actually been working on a bit about like the voices in Trump's head before everything went out. And I'm pretty sure one of them was just like a fly. Yeah, just like ah, all right.
Fine. It kind of makes me think of what is it? The South Park episode where Cartman keeps talking to all his stuffed animals, and like they all have different voices and personas. It's like, oh, I don't know, you guys, should I go? And like, yes, Eric, you are strong and cool and awesome, and I would totally hang out with you all the time. Oh, thanks, strongman Jim, or something. I forget what he calls his dog, or Clyde Frog.
Does that is that the one that gets into like the forest animals?
No, that's the Christmas special,
No.
with the Chris critters. That one is also hilarious, and
I mean,
extremely
most of
gory,
them
and
are.
not for the faint
Yeah.
religious of heart. We're just trying to get our Lord and Savior Satan born on this here earth.
Yeah. There was another there was another rapper that he pardoned too, but I can't remember exactly who it was.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All I know is that there were a bunch of people who were like, and I don't mean the rioters. There were a bunch of people who were like, "All right, ready up for that pardon because I totally got myself fucked over for you," and nothing came. And then there
Oh
were a bunch of
yeah,
people who were like, "Oh, we didn't do anything bad, but we're considered bad people, so maybe if you pardon us, people like." Like in line with the more conservative view thinking, and it's like, nope, that didn't happen either. He just pardoned a bunch of random people and war criminals.
I did see that apparently Joe Exotic was expecting to be pardoned, and of
Dude, he
course
had a
he's just
freaking limo waiting
yeah.
outside the prison. Like, damn, damn, that's gotta hurt. Like, where did he get his intel? Like, what was the basis of him thinking that was gonna happen?
Probably like we're kind of like the same kind of guy, me and Trump.
Jesus Christ! All right,
And also, I know a lot of people were expecting him to pardon Julian Assange too, just kind of like a fuck you.
that's the
But
one that's the one everyone thought was gonna happen.
I'm sure he just kind of like that or
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, so I'm not gonna do it. Or he spelled it wrong and therefore legally couldn't happen.
Maybe I did actually I did actually see something about like his today actually when I was waiting for you to come on. Apparently like his legal team for all of his shit that he's got
Oh yeah, they
coming
just
up with.
ghosted him.
They actually like misspelled the United States on like legal documents and
God,
stuff like that. I don't know if that means anything, but
it just means their paralegal team needs some work.
true. Well, his paralegal team probably uses space lasers and bullshit like that.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have a legal team anymore anyway, so or at least
Oh
not the
yeah,
one
that's
he
right.
started with.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably just got like some nephews or whatever. I don't know. Actually, no. I think they hate him too. So who
Yeah,
knows?
if you're not in his immediate family, most of them hate him.
Yeah. All right. Next.
I was gonna say, moving on.
Yeah. Moving on, this one's a little sadder. Pompeo and the U.S. officially declared China committing genocide against Muslims and minorities.
Oh wow, it only took him 8 months, if not longer.
I would say longer, but also, I mean, like, that doesn't mean anything,
Yeah, I was
though,
gonna say like, what, does that mean that they're gonna
in
like,
the real world.
yeah, like oh like you guys, that's genocide is bad, you guys, bad Winnie the Pooh, bad. No committing genocide.
You've been bad.
I mean, but like, unless they actually like, I mean, unless they are planning on doing something with that information, like, no point, no point at all to that at all. Like,
Yeah.
because once you officially acknowledge that it's happening, and then you do nothing but finger wag about it as a major world power, like the fuck, like you're doing nothing, like nada.
Yeah, it's like, okay, now what? 'Cause I mean, like, yeah, our Armenian communities here have been, trying to get, their own recognized for fucking how many years? Like a good
God.
60 years or something like that. And they finally did. But it's like, all right, now what? Are they, like,
Yeah,
does
exactly.
this
Too
mean
little,
that
too
you guys are
late.
going to stop selling those fucking cringy ass Armenian genocide t shirts or something like that? But, I don't know. All right, let's
Yeah.
see.
I feel like genocide's one of those areas, like, just the longer you stay on it, you're either just gonna just make people sad, or you're gonna inadvertently come out as a supporter. It's just like one of those two topics in our position. I mean, and I'm white, so I'm already like slotted to be like predictably in favor of it.
Assumed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, actually, if you think about it, right, it's like a form of Darwinism.
Yeah, predisposed.
Jesus Christ, kill me if I ever say anything like that in earnest.
Well, there's your metal album, Predisposed to Genocide.
Predisposed.
All right, next one we got here. This one's a little interesting. Former Michigan, Michigan Governor Rick Snyder charged in Flint water crisis, which again,
That's
still
still a
nothing
thing.
really. Yeah, still a thing.
Jesus Christ, those poor people. And good, finally. But again, this long, really?
Yeah, I think they. I wonder if it comes to, like, elected or appointed officials, is it you kind of have to wait for them to leave, don't you,
No,
in
you can
order
get
to
them
really do
recalled.
anything? Oh, true.
No, you can get them recalled, but if they're in power, like I can imagine the access to information and wealth and influence that they have is much more significant,
Oh, true.
right? Like for example, right now there's like a 2 million plus vote signature count to recall Governor Newsom for California. That thing hits 2 million votes. What did you do? Oh, you guys, restaurants are back open again. Like, because guess what? Give the people food and circuses, they might forget. Ugh,
True. Yeah,
that
he'll
was a
be.
good one.
If he's fortunate, he'll still have his last 2 years of this term at least. But who
Which would
knows?
be our misfortune.
Yeah, right. Well, it'd be better. Two is better than six. I'll say that.
Yeah, but I mean, why shoot for the low bar? I mean, let's shoot for none. It's good done this year, and then worst case it goes to 2. I don't want to shoot for 2, and worst case it goes for 6.
Yeah, right. Unless he, like, magically, fights off the aliens or something like that. But I doubt it.
Like, wait, the illegal ones? Which aliens are you talking about?
Maybe, who knows? Like, he would know the difference.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Like, they're all different.
Ah! Get them out.
All
Wait,
right.
they can pay tax, save my
Yeah,
economy.
right.
Okay, fine.
He could work on the farms.
Jesus Christ.
This is why now why we are here.
Well, no, if they're like, I mean, wouldn't the joke be because they're advanced civilized race, they'd be working on the data farms, right? Like,
Maybe.
okay, that's it.
No,
We'll
they'd
get
be
into.
farming our data. It's a bit different.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
A little bit different.
Well, fuck me.
All right, next one is more fun. Thor: Love and Thunder. Karengillen confirms Nebula is back, and
Yes.
and Matt Damon may have joined the cast.
I would be all about Matt Damon being a part of this movie simply because, like, Matt Damon does one of like two roles: the serious
Yeah,
kind of
Matt
actiony
and
roles.
Damon.
Yeah, yeah. I'm Matt Damon. No, but like he does the serious kind of roles, like the action roles of the serious ones, or whatever. But then he does like the comedy roles where he's in it and he's just kind of a little bitch, or he's just like he's kind of funny. Like him on Saturday Night Live is actually like great to watch. If you want one of the best performances by Matt Damon, look up the Christmas sketch that he was in like 3 years ago. I don't like modern SNL. I think most on modern SNL is bullshit and derivative. They have like one amazing sketch for every 5 episodes they do. Or sometimes they have really good sketches just based on who's there, and that person is really great to work with. But he had a sketch like 2 3 years ago where it's like him and Cecily Strong, and they're like the parents after Christmas Day, and he like cuddles up to her. He's like, you know what? I think this was the best Christmas ever. And she's like, oh my God, really? And like it goes through his memories of the day, and like he just hates his life. Like every step of the way, he just hates it. And same with her, and she just hates it. And it's funny too, because you don't expect it to cut to her, but at one point you see her out in the backyard with a glass of wine and a cigarette, and she's just like, oh, like she's just like shaking. Like, don't want to go back in for dinner.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
great sketch.
I mean, and also he was in Ragnarok for a little bit too, if you remember.
Wait a minute.
Whenever Thor comes back after defeating Surtur, like at the beginning, and Loki is pretending to be Odin, and they
Oh,
have
and
like
he's
that
in the
fucking
court.
bullshit play. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
because
that's right.
yeah, Matt Damon plays Loki in there, so he's an Asgardian. So
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
so funny. I forgot
I,
about
I
that.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how they'll do it. He'll probably just be like some random Asgardian that survived like everything.
They could also get away with
So,
like completely rebranding his character. I mean, like there's certain times where like it's like, oh, we'll take the same actor, but like we'll just twist him around and do something different. I mean, I don't think they will. I think they'll. I mean, they're very good about keeping that headcanon shit going. So we'll see.
yeah, I imagine he'll get about 20 seconds.
Doesn't Love and
And then,
Thunder also include the Guardians people, or is it separate from them? Pretty sure it includes the
I
Guardians people.
well, Nebula's in it. Yeah, they got her at least. And there were somebody else
Yeah, I
too,
can just
if
look
I
it up
remember.
too. Love and Thunder. Ooh, in googling that, I saw the Google search for Love and Monsters. Actually, pretty good. I'd recommend it.
That sounds familiar. I don't remember.
It's I forget he's a young actor, but it's the premise of it is mankind goes into nuclear war with itself, peace is resolved, but then the nuclear fallout creates super monsters, and then we all die to the monsters.
Mm.
But no, this one actually is pretty dope. It has I forgot Christian Bale's the bad guy in this.
Oh yeah.
Natalie Portman's back, my
Yep.
heart.
Yep.
Taika Waititi's in it, but I think he's directing it. Um, it's got Karen Gillan, Tessa Thompson who plays Valkyrie. Yeah, the Guardians people are definitely in it. Jamie Alexander is back as Sif.
Oh
Jeff,
yes, I
Jeff
remember that.
Goldblum is actually slotted to be in it too, which is amazing because his character in Ragnarok was perfect.
Yeah, it
His
was
character was
hilarious.
so good. Like the scene where they open the what is it called? The like they get into his party boat and they're like, what does this button do? And like all of a sudden like it opens the back room
Yeah.
and there's this huge bit. It's like, hey, it's my birthday. And just like lost my shit. I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, he's a good one in there. And
All right, what else
yeah,
we
and
got?
I mean, I was gonna say Spider-Man's gonna be pretty big too, but we
Yeah,
already
that
talked
I'm
about it.
excited for too. And also hopefully the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. I think they're actually making an animated sequel to that. I don't know.
I did hear a yeah, I did hear that, And I did hear that apparently,
Yeah, 2022.
uh, apparently they might try and incorporate the Miles Morales Spider-Man into uh, the actual Marvel movies at some point as well,
Nice. Well,
somehow.
well, that's actually I think that'll happen with either the Spider-Man movie or it'll happen with Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange is I think it's either his movie or the show is supposed to
His
have
movie.
it's like the universe of madness or something, and the whole
Yeah,
point is all these alternate realities.
Multi-Verse of Madness. Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness, that's it. And so you could easily throw in a ton of different amazing things. And for people who don't know about like comic books, um, and I'm not one of those people. I'm not the comic book nerd from The Simpsons. I don't know everything about comic books, um, although I love that character. Uh,
Yeah, because you never met him in real life. Or well,
no,
yeah, you have. Yeah, you have kind
no,
of.
we definitely have. We go to a hobby store. We've definitely met that
Yep.
kind of guy in real life, where he's like reading the comic book and he's like, oh man, Batman would never use that weapon. And then he sees like a bomb coming in. He's like, oh my god, I've wasted my whole life. No, but like for those who don't know comic books very well, one of the amazing things about Marvel and DC does it too, is that they do alternate takes on heroes and they do like different storylines. DC does it from more of a like what if it happened this way scenario, but Marvel kind of like went a little further and actually called those alternate realities or alternate universes, um, or at least started to with certain characters. So like that's something cool like about all of this is that they could totally do anything they want. Really, it's basically that was the brilliant move on their part. Is like this is our way of doing anything we want, and if people say that it's wrong, it's like, oh, it's a different universe, dog. Like, come on, keep up.
Yeah, well, they're also better at tying everything together too, as well.
What
And they also have that the What If series eventually coming out too.
that I am stoked for also.
The CGI one.
Yeah, that one should be really cool.
All right, moving on.
Moving on, moving on.
Let's see. We got this one's alleged Pelosi laptop thief arrested and charged after ex called the FBI. So
Nice. Oh, I mean, we knew he was arrested, but now I guess we're learning that it's because it was his ex.
she.
Well, she called. Wait. Oh, the woman who stole it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. She see her mugshot. She looks creepy as shit.
Oh yeah, she's got a real Casey Anthony vibe to her.
Speaking of which, fuck her. But yeah.
But yeah, and I did see also apparently she's banned from the internet as well.
Did whoever did that know how the internet works?
So I guess the idea is, well, she's under like uh house arrest until uh whenever. And
Hmm.
well, there's that. I would imagine that she can't like that house can't get service
Or they intentionally
from.
cut service off from that house.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh, good God. That would
Um,
be the actual torture of being under house arrest is no internet connection. Until you like go full Zen mode and discover books.
I don't know how they would get around the using cellular service.
That's easy. You just don't give them a cell phone that operates that way. You give them a flat out brick phone. I mean, people still make brick phones and flip phones.
Yeah, true. I mean, I guess I could see if it was like, I guess I could see if they were like only allowed to use the landline
Yeah, that would work.
for phone too.
Yeah.
Sounds like a pain in the ass.
So it's the poor people's version of house arrest. This ain't your Martha Stewart house arrest.
Yeah. It's literally just like everything but jail.
Yeah.
Unlike the other people who went into the White House and didn't steal a sitting congressperson's laptop.
Yeah. How the fuck did she negotiate house
I
arrest?
don't know. I don't know,
Hell of a
but
legal team.
yeah, right. All right, I guess we got one more that I'll do for now. Trader Joe's, Dollar General, and others are paying workers to get vaccines. So good for them. When that will actually be, who knows? Because
Yeah.
because obviously.
Because obviously.
I know. Yeah, I know around here. I'm sure you've gotten like the emails and stuff like that. I don't know if you're with Covered California. They're like,
No, I get mine through my work.
oh, but yeah. Like I've gotten yeah, some messages. They're like, yeah, oh, vaccines are on the way
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah. Any day now, kids.
And I think I did hear something too about like apparently it's actually you have to go like twice
Yeah. So the vaccine
with
works
this
in,
one.
well, in this particular thing, it works in 2 doses, which, so what is it? When the first time you do it, it gives you a certain level, and then the second one is supposed to be the next level. My understanding is that the reason that is because of timing and enzymes and other medical stuff I don't understand. It is different, but then again, it's also like we do get vaccines growing up, right? That you get in levels. So like you get your tetanus 1 or tetanus 2 or something like that. It kind of operates like that, except instead of waiting the span of 5 years to get your second shot or your booster, you're getting it now. That's just as far as I understand it. Which also, on the flip side, is making people kind of like, well, wait, why do I need two? Like,
Yeah,
why?
and then they don't go back again.
Yeah, exactly. Or
So
they don't go at all because they're like, why am I getting? Because the idea of getting injected once is like weird enough, right? I mean, as much as it sucks, there's a very legitimate like vaccine fear in this country. Some of it's completely unfounded. Some of it is founded to a degree within reason. And at the end of the day, just like, when the government has like become so clearly just exposed in its corruption, it's causing us to doubt other federally backed sectors like health and science, which is unfortunate because we should trust those things because those are the last vestiges of objective data that we have, right? So
ideally,
TLDR, life sucks. We're all gonna die.
yeah. Are you listening to this show and thinking, man, I'd like to start a podcast, but I don't even know where to start? Well, Buzzsprout has the answers for you. Buzzsprout is a podcast hosting service that provides a number of valuable resources to help you on your podcasting career path. For one, Buzzsprout offers indefinite hosting of all your episodes and allows you to host as much material as you want, depending on the type of subscription that you opt for. Buzzsprout also provides a means for getting your show hosted to every major podcasting platforms such as iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, you name it. In addition, Buzzsprout also provides various means to get your show monetized through various sponsorship and affiliate programs, links to other paid hosting platforms such as Patreon and YouTube, and your own personal newsroom to learn all the tips and tricks for optimizing your podcast for the greatest return on your investment. If you're hearing all this and you're still interested, you can go to my link below and receive an Amazon gift card for starting a podcast hosting subscription that you'll receive on the second billing period of your podcast journey. Everyone has something to share, and there's no time like the present. Join Buzzsprout today. No, I actually, what was I say I actually do know somebody who's in nursing grad, and they're out there doing all that at Dodger Stadium,
Oh yeah.
which sounds like a pain in the ass if you're driving
Yeah.
up
Not to
there, I
mention
would
which.
imagine.
Yeah. Not to mention which it's also um, like that's a massive place to go do those things. That's like some movie stuff, like monsters are going in.
Well, the parking lot. I mean, I would imagine part of it's just so that you don't have like a line out into whatever street
Yeah.
some other facility was on beyond, since their parking lot's huge. But I don't know. Even during normal, I guess it's probably not as bad as like an actual game day. Just a lot more cones.
Yeah.
It's already a pain in the ass. Uh,
Ugh.
so what else is
I'm stoned.
going on in oh, I remember something I wrote down. Have you decided at all how you're gonna deal with future unruly teenagers?
Ah, that's a good question. Um, for those of you who don't know, I have two kids. They're both under the age of 2. Um, wasn't planned that way, but we love them both to death. They're both really good kids, thankfully. And yes, you can tell the difference when they're under 2 if they're not good kids. Um, for teenagers, I don't know. Like teenagers are such a mixed bag, right? Like there could be any number of things that are wrong with teenagers, including the fact that nothing's wrong, right? Like if you have a goody two, I would just be just as worried if I had a goody two shoes teenager as a rebel without a cause teenager, right? Because the rebel without a cause, that's stereotypical. This where they starting to get authority issues, rebellion, starting to do their own shit, and then if they're goody two shoes, well, that means, well, wait a minute, are they learning to think for themselves? Why are they being so obedient? Like are they being good because they're choosing that, or because they don't know any other way, or because they're just like total sheeples? Like like there's various things you can think about, and like like I don't stress or worry about it too much, because like that's a future me problem, and like God knows like all the different variables that are going to affect those decisions. But just from thinking about it like objectively, and maybe thinking about like, oh, about my teenagehood and how that went, um I think the key thing that I would want to do that maybe other parents agree with, I don't know, I'm not a doctor or a psychologist, you like what I say, you can tell me to fuck off, I don't care. um like I think the first thing is just like just like listen to them, because like a big thing about teenagers is, right, is like that's the first time you're becoming an adult and you're rationally expressing yourself and emotions that you're now having, especially because you're getting a whole bunch of hormones that are really dictating how those emotions work. And I don't even mean just
Right.
sexually, just like just everything. So I mean, listening is probably going to be a key thing, because nobody wants to do anything for somebody else if they don't feel like they're being listened to. Like that's just true, right? Like I don't want to help this guy out if I don't think he's gonna, like, if he's got my back or gives a shit about me, right? Like fuck you, man. I don't know why I'm here. I'm logging off. No, the other thing I think would be like something along the lines of, like, just because they're not looking for attention or coming out to you to talk to things. I don't mean coming out. I mean that's obviously a thing you have to be open and accepting about, but
It's
it's like
included.
included. No, I mean
Yeah.
like there are the kids who they look like they're good, they're operating fine, and they're great, and so you're like, okay, great, I don't have to worry about them. I'm gonna handle these other kids, or I'm gonna handle my other problems in life. And that's actually a trap, and I think it's a trap because it's very easy to get into this idea of like, oh, this kid's fine, they don't need me, they're all good to go. When in reality, they may be one of those people who don't know how to initiate. They don't know how to talk about something. They don't know how to express how they feel. Or maybe because they're actually just waiting to see, when are they going to check in with me? You know, when are they going to come reach out to
Yeah.
me and talk to me? And so without being a nuisance, you got to look out for those kids and be like, hey, just checking in. How are you doing? You okay? And I think the third thing too is, and this is more important if you have a really busy job, or if you have a lot of kids or a number of kids that you have to divide your attention, and obviously you have your partner, your spouse that you have to give attention to also. Just make sure like you carve out some time, like a little bit a month at least, where it's like you get some good one-on-one time, and you try to make it something that they enjoy, you know. Because like there's always those movies where it's like, Dad, leave me alone, like yeah, and like shut up, I hate you. It's some of that stereotype is true, sure, whatever, but a lot of it is like, they're like, unless you give them a reason to hate you, like your kids want to be loved and hang out with you, right? Like, so if you really trying to make the time to make that happen, even though it's clear like maybe it's hard for you to do that, if you show you're willing to commit that time, even if it's like, oh hey, I'm gonna take, like when my daughter gets older, like I'll take her on dates, like I'll just go get dinner, the two of us, or we'll go see a movie or something, or when my son gets older, we'll do the same thing, like we'll go get dinner or we'll go watch a movie, or whatever the hell they want to do, whatever they like to do, we can make it like one-on-one time. Like I'm happy to do that. Like it's all about that. I think it's just like listening, making the time, and don't assume silence means everything's okay. You know, that's just my thoughts personally.
Yeah, I mean they might be dead or something like that. Also related, don't take your fucking toddlers to like a rated R movie or something like that. It's
Oh
annoying.
fuck no.
Dude, when I went to see Deadpool, there was like a whole fucking like Mexican family with a bunch of kids and stuff.
It's a
It's like,
superhero movie.
what are you doing? And they're all running up and down the aisles. They didn't even. So it's not like they were even like, taking in anything at all.
I know. Oh man, that is something for me. I just cannot. I cannot stand at almost any age. Like is parents who just do not try to control their kids like at all,
Oh yeah.
like ever. It pisses me off, and that includes when the kids quote unquote being good, right? So like sometimes like this last month has been hell for my work. My wife's dealing with my two kids mostly on her own, and so sometimes she'll flip on the television more often than not and let my daughter watch Daniel Tiger, which is this cartoon show on PBS or something, and it's actually based off of Mr. Rogers. When I started watching this, I was like, wait, they're ripping everything off Mr. Rogers. And then the opening credits, and it says, based off the works of Fred Rogers. And I'm like, oh, motherfucker. Uh, but
You got me.
no, you had me in the first
Yeah.
half, not going to lie. But where was I going with this? This beer's kicking in. So we'll turn on the electronic babysitter for my daughter every now and then, just to kind of wrangle her down in one place. We can take care of the boy, or get dinner done or something, blah blah. And and we're not afraid to do it. One thing my wife and I are never gonna do, and we agreed on this when we were dating, just like when we talked about like kids around us. Fucking never, I'm ever going to go to a restaurant with our kids and put them in front of a screen and give them a phone. If they're in the car and they want to watch a movie on the road, that's one thing. If they're in an airplane, watch a movie on the road, that's another thing. But if you're at a fucking restaurant, if you're at a place where the whole point is to interact with human people, you're there to interact with human people. Fuck off with the phone and tablets. That's not happening. Hell no. I am not going to be one of those parents that just like slaps a tablet in my kid's face, and that's how I get them to be good the whole time. Fuck no. Absolutely not.
Also, I'd imagine it'd probably be you definitely don't want to try and like take them anywhere when they're too young or
Yeah,
anything
it
like that
depends.
either.
Yeah, like
Cause
when they're a certain
like
age,
yeah,
easy, but because they're like what?
I'd say because like you like people who like take their baby to Disney World or something like that. Like they're a little retarded potato. Like why are you? There
Exactly. No,
nothing's
like
going in.
yeah, like we took our daughter to Disneyland just because we happened to be going, and so we did some stuff with her, and she was aware enough where she was like definitely like engaged and like looking around. Like now, if we were to take her, she's old enough, even under two, she's old enough. She understands certain things. Like she's watched enough Disney stuff. She's obsessed with Moana, and like
There you go.
we go to the right place or go right, she would like start. She'd like freak the shit out. Like I know she would, and like come as she gets older, like 3, 4, 5, 6, like that's just gonna get even more true. So like you know when she's like 5 or 6, we'll totally take her to Disneyland and just like watch her freak out at all these things that she loves, which is be hilariously awesome. But yeah, like but my son, he's like 6 months. He's like
Yeah.
He just like sits there and just smiles at you, or he tries to eat whatever's in front of him. Like that's it. Like he's just a potato.
A retarded potato,
Yeah, currently.
as they all are. That oh, that also reminds me of like I always hate whenever people like have like a baby and everyone's like, oh, they they look like you or they look like your mom. No, they look like a fucking baby. Babies look the same. Like
See, when they're the
yeah.
wrinkly baby stage, I totally agree. It's like the wrinkly baby, like they're just like a little smudge of something. But like when they hit 3 or 4 months and they start getting those features and they start rounding out a little bit, then I'm like, okay. Like my daughter clearly looks like she's my kid. My son, we still have no idea who he looks like. He looks like kind of like us, but also very unique. And I feel feeling we're not going to see the family resemblance for a while. But that's just
Looks like a baby.
yeah. I mean, either that or I'm going to walk into the mailman. I'll be like, you look really familiar. Like, yeah.
But no, I mostly wrote that note down because like, well, I was out working and there was like I ran into at least like one or two families just like yelling at their kids in public. Just like
I
that
can't do that
doesn't
either.
really yeah like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just
The only time I'm yelling is if it's in the house and if it's you almost killed somebody. Otherwise, it's going to be like stern, calm, and depending on how bad it is, I add this subtone of "I will fucking murder you the next time you do this." But I will never. I try not to like yell.
well
That would be my goal.
and well not even for like oh you did something wrong, just like oh you're complaining about something.
Oh yeah, you're whine. Oh yeah, you're whining.
Yeah,
Or yeah. Yeah, totally. Ugh.
and that just means that you obviously didn't well
Means I
shitty
failed as a
parent or
parent.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm a fucking waste.
But
I had to report for government sterilization. I'm no longer allowed to bear children, and my kids will become wards of the state. And then all of a sudden, the next thing I know, I don't feel anything, and there's Christian Bale running around with like guns and geometry and shit. And I'm like, am I in equilibrium? And somebody tells me yes, I'm in equilibrium. I'm like, oh fuck.
hey, yeah, that was a good movie. I haven't seen that one in a while.
It's a good ass movie. It's a good ass movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, and those kids become what I wrote down as my next note: shitty pedestrians.
Oh my god. Oh,
California
okay.
pedestrians.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I okay. I'm stepping away for a second. I'm on the microphone. I'm stepping away. This is a personal note, but please explain what you mean.
Tom's gonna go pee in the corner right now, but
Basically.
no, just well, because the main thing here is one of the big laws here in California is that it is illegal to hit a pedestrian, which makes
I feel
perfect
like that's a
sense.
major law in most places.
But not in the no. Okay, you know what? I worded this wrong. Pedestrians almost always have the right of way. That's the law I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay, okay.
Which to most people here who are all very like self-indulged and personally driven for the most part, that's just kind of the LA way. That turns into like, oh, it's illegal for you to hit me, so I can just walk out in the road and do whatever I need to do or whatever.
Yeah, you know what? I actually didn't
Yeah.
know that until you said it, and now a lot of my interactions with them make a bit more sense.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, especially me, because like right now I drive for work, and I always get there's always like someone in the way. Like you'll get the people who are like go to get into their cars that are parallel parked at the side, but they don't try and like wait or anything like that. Just do walk out into the fucking lane, fling open their door or whatever, and get in. And I've had to swerve a few times, and then especially or you go to a bus stop, then you get the fucking people who just like walk out into the middle of the street with their arms on their hips, like, where is this goddamn bus? Get
Oh
the
my
fuck
God.
out of the way. Yeah.
It's for me like it's one of those things where I understand the right of way thing. I understand it's like protecting the guy that doesn't weigh 3 tons and is moving at 30 miles an hour. But like for me, the thing about pedestrians that pisses me off is like sometimes like if I'm gonna cross the street and I see somebody's like waiting to turn left, I'll wait or even look like I'm turning around to give the car the cue to like turn left because I understand that it's gonna take my ass 5 to 10 seconds to cross the street, but it's gonna take them 2 seconds, and if they're late, then they're late, and that could cause all the things because traffic's a bitch. So I'm willing to wait the 3 seconds it takes for them to cross the street versus the 10 seconds I'm going to force them to wait for me to cross the street, and then they may even lose the opportunity to turn or have to do an illegal turn because they're already caught in the red as they're turning left. You know. And I was doing that. I was in the car. I was picking up the booze. I was on my way back. I was turning left. It's dark out. And so I'm waiting for all these cars to clear. I'm finally turning left, and some motherfucker immediately starts walking after I turn left into
Yeah.
the street. And then I start to stop, and he just continues walking. This old motherfucker, like I automatically was like, this is why boomers need to die. like entitled generation. God,
And I'm gonna start with this one right here.
I thought about it. I
Yeah.
thought about it.
Oh, that's the other thing that gets me is whenever you're like you're waiting at some kind of intersection, like a like if you're about to make like a left turn or whatever, and you're just like waiting for the traffic to pass. What I always hate is whenever you see like somebody is waiting like at a corner on a crosswalk or whatever, and they're just kind of looking at their phone or whatever, not paying attention, and then like right as it's about like time for you to make a turn or whatever to get onto the intersection, then they look up like, oh, I should cross, and what motherfucker, get out of here.
That is also the worst.
You know
And
what
I
I
hate
mean?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, then like every once in a while you'll get somebody who's I don't know, just like a wannabe thug or whatever, and they'll just walk out into the middle of the street. So you gotta deal with that. That's not
Or
them
or
being, yeah.
or you get those homeless people who based on how they're acting, they're aware, they're not like totally janked out, like they are aware enough, they know what's going on, and they just don't care. And part of you is like, I get that, man, like you're downtrodden, you just don't give a shit anymore. But the other part of you is like, come on, dude. Like I
Yeah.
gotta cross here. Like I got shit to do today.
It's like a corpse can't collect insurance, by the way. They probably don't already have to begin with anyway. So, but I did I know early on whenever everything shut down back in March or April, whatever, I did have somebody actually try to kill themselves with me.
Are you fucking serious?
Like I was driving down Wilshire, or yeah, it was Wilshire, and here comes some dude who basically, it looks like a homeless Luke Cage, just comes running out in front of my car, like looking at me too, like this motherfucker's gonna run me over. It's the last thing I do, and
Damn.
yeah, I had to like fake him out. And it was easy too because this was early on in the pandemic, so there was literally nobody on the road.
Oh, okay, that
So
makes sense.
yeah, I had to like kind of like keep going at because I knew what was going on, so I just like kept going at the same speed, and at the last minute I juked him out
No, took you out
with
of
my
his shoes.
car. Yeah, right.
I
Now
saw
what?
somebody do that same thing in a video. Except the other person was a car, and this other car, what they were doing is they were speeding and staying ahead of them. So like this person was on a highway, and this person's aggressively slowing down in front of them, and every time they try to move, they would like swerve and like get in front. It's like they were being an asshole, dangerous driver. So this guy's stuck with this. He's got a dash cam, and so he waits, and then he does it like he's getting onto the on ramp. The guy switches onto the on ramp just long enough where he can't switch back, and the guy just goes whoop back and just totally fakes him out, and the guy's stuck on an on ramp. I was
Nice.
like, that is brilliant, especially considering if that guy had gotten fucking plowed by the cement median,
Oh
completely his
yeah.
fault. Completely his fault. Like, no shit's given. Also, I'm starting number 2 because it was delicious. This one's by Duvel, which I think is a known beer. Except this one is called Single Fermented Belgian Blonde. It's in a
Nice.
can.
Sounds familiar.
I've had Duvel before. Duvels are good. I've never had this before. Looks pretty light for Belgian, but I guess not too light. Almost looks like a lager. It's kind of got that lager look,
There you go.
Looks like a lager.
I have I've debated the benefits of like if I ever have like enough money where I don't have to worry about anything. Like I wonder
The
if it
American
almost
dream.
yeah right. I wonder if it would almost be worth just getting like a like you'll have like your nice cars or whatever in your house or whatever, and then just have one car that's like just a complete junked up piece of shit, and
Okay.
that's the one where you just stop waiting for people.
Stop wait. So like pedestrians or other cars?
Well, mostly like other cars. It's like when some dumbass like tries to cut you off, or they like stop in the middle of the road or whatever. Like when the people who are like, oh, I want to turn onto the highway, but I didn't actually get into the turning lane or something, and you just give them that tap. Like, oh, I didn't see you there. You were stopped in the road or something like
So
that.
so the idea
Yeah.
is you're rich enough where you don't give a shit about the financial consequences of hitting somebody.
Yeah, you don't have to worry
You
about the
also have,
insurance.
but you also have a car
Yeah.
specifically designed to fucking go road rage on people if you needed. Not
Not
quite road rage, but I'm trying to
not
think
not not so much road rage, but one that you don't care about fixing.
of right. So it doesn't have to be in pristine
Yes.
condition. Yeah. It's like your tennis shoes.
The
It's
worse the
like when you
better.
yeah. Well, it's like when you have shoes and you save them. They're old janky tennis shoes, but you say like I do this. I don't know if anybody else does this, but like when I have a pair of tennis shoes that are about to go bad, like basically falling apart at the seams, I'll usually hold on to them for a while in case for whatever reason I'm in a scenario where I need shoes and I don't care if they get fucked up. And I'm thinking specifically of two things. You're gonna notice a pattern of what these things contain. One of them is painting, like a house,
Hmm.
like actual painting, and then paintball. And paintball is one of those things where I learn I'm going to be paintballing like 4 days before it happens, and it happens once a year to once every 2 years, and I always just get rid of my shoes right before it happens, and I'm like, damn it. So
Yeah, I can see that. I wonder. I wonder if anybody's doing any. If there's still like paintball stuff going on.
I bet you they probably are doing it more than most because a lot of those paintball venues are outdoors, and the whole point is you don't want to get close to people.
True.
So I could see them getting away with that to a degree. Maybe they'd
And they
limit the
and they
number of
got
players.
full on face covers too.
You got face covers anyway, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's basically your face mask. This, by the way, it tastes okay. Tastes light. It doesn't taste bad. Like feels like a session, but it's not. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It's good.
Tastes lagery.
Tastes lighter than I thought it would, but then again, I did start with something pretty heavy for a Belgian, so
Oh, true. Skewed your taste.
I probably should have started with this one.
I did actually end up getting a bottle of Japanese vodka last night, but I mean I'm not save that for later.
Japanese vodka. What's it called?
Um, you know
I've
what?
never heard of it.
Let
I've
me
heard
go
of
find.
Japanese whiskeys and scotches, but
Let
or
me
I
go
should say,
find out. I'll be right back.
okay. Well, in case this doesn't get cut out in post, uh, random ramble, random ramble, and he's back. I was thinking about rambling about something, and I couldn't think of it. I thought I
Been
had a I
rambling.
thought I thought I had a good idea to ramble on something, but aside from the Led Zeppelin song, I couldn't think of anything. Ramble on.
I got this stuff. Haku vodka.
Haku vodka.
Distilled from 100% Japanese rice
Ooh.
through bamboo charcoal.
So does that even consider of? I mean, because vodkas are generally potatoes, or the other one.
Oh, potato vodka is potatoes.
Well, yeah. Here,
I don't
let
know
me
what
just let me just do straight vodka. What is it made of?
It's made
Vodka
of happiness.
is made of happiness. Is a clear distilled alcoholic beverage with varieties of different kinds originating in Poland, Russia, or Sweden. It's primarily water and ethanol.
There you go.
It's traditionally made by distilling liquid from cereal grains that have been fermented, and potatoes were a substitute. Some modern brands use fruit, honey, or maple sap as the base. Since the 1890s, standard vodkas have been 40% alcohol by volume, and the EU has a minimum requirement of 3.75. See, that's the kind of government mandate I would want. That's the kind of thing where it's like the government shouldn't be like, you can't do this, you can't do that. It should be like, if you're gonna do something, you gotta do it at least this. You know, if you're gonna make
Yeah,
vodka, it's
right.
gotta be at least 38%. If you're gonna be an asshole, you gotta be at least a cool asshole. I don't know, like promotive laws. I like promotive laws, or whatever the fuck that term is, as opposed to negatory laws. There's a distinction. I'm getting it wrong.
Also, this stuff is actually made by Suntory, so the same company that makes the whiskey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That I did not know. Oh, I recognize the label. Yeah, totally.
Since 1899. Good for them.
Really? So it's like it's probably like when they made it, they're like, we were trying to make sake, but we made something a lot harder hitting and awesomer. Either that, or it was probably in one of those phases of
Somebody lived through making the railroads and they came back home like, have you tried this?
you fucking seen this shit? It's so good. Oh my god, let me tell you. Okay, so I got it from this Irish guy I was working next to, and he
And they're
got it from some
assholes,
Russian.
but
They're assholes, but he got it from this other Russian guy who we kind of knew about them, but they're also assholes. But damn, can they drink?
Yep.
Nothing like terrible situations of humanity that make for great humor.
Just like now.
Just
Maybe.
like now. Although, according to bring it full circle, according to South Park, we got to wait at least 10 years before we can really start making jokes about it. It's that episode they made where it's like, guys, has it really been long enough? Can we really start making jokes about 9/11 now? It was a really actually great look about timing and comedy in terms of how soon is too soon. And their whole joke was that, like, oh, it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since 9/11. You could totally make jokes about it now. You know, it's just one of those things.
And that episode would have been 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think.
Which means
Yeah.
that's
It's
right.
been a while.
This is going to be the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Holy shit. 20 years ago, man. And like that's one of those like world events that like fucking changed everything. Just like the pandemic is again kind of like it's changing paradigm shift. So basically 2040, which corresponds with 1940, you know, we should expect to see another big paradigm shift. Oh man, I'm gonna be 50 when World War III happens. Fucking god damn it. Son of a bitch. At least I got time.
Yeah, you won't be able to join up.
Oh, you kidding? It's gonna be us versus the robots, man. The robots.
True. Chinese robots. Maybe.
Death to communism. Liberty Prime.
Oh yeah. That's right. What was I gonna say? I don't. Did you ever play through? Going back to Fallout 4, where you actually rebuild that thing?
Yeah, I beat
Yeah.
all Fallout 4. I love that game.
Oh,
Fantastic game.
the one saving grace if you play survival mode is if you go through the if you go for the Brotherhood storyline, then you can get those whatchamacallit.
You get the Stormbird callouts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love, dude. When I started using that, I was like, this is so dope. I get like 3 power armor motherfuckers and 5 scouts just dropping in on me, like helping me hold this position. I thought, doesn't it include like 5 chumps as well as 3 power armor dudes?
No.
Oh, it's just power armor dudes.
It's well, actually,
And then there's the plane that does like the airstrikes and it shoots the shit and stuff.
There might be a couple different things, but I know there's the one
I mean, it's been
where
years since I played, so
there's well the one I think the main one is there's one where you throw out a smoke grenade and then you'll get a vertibird come down and then you can get in it and it'll take you wherever you want to go.
that I remember.
Yeah, so especially once you get to the point where you're going like trying to go all the way across the map
Oh yeah,
and running it is just stupid.
yeah. No, at that point, it's just like I might as well die. Like,
Yeah, but no, you just hop in that thing and go on. I think the only place it doesn't really work is whenever you go into like that whenever you go into that like irradiated crater at the bottom of the map for that part of the game. Then I think you're screwed. But other than that, I believe you said
yeah, I gotta
you gotta
roll
move
out.
on. Yeah, you got your next show coming up
Yeah,
here.
dude, I'm living the life of what it feels like to be a professional podcaster just for one night. I did this show, got a smoke break, gonna do the next show. Objective is to not get too drunk in between then. Good to go. And then stay up late enough to play Apex till I pass out and cry myself to sleep about working another day.
Damn right.
Damn right.
Well, since that's the deal, I think we covered plenty.
We covered
For
a lot of
now.
topics tonight. Yeah, we rounded the bases this evening.
There we go. So yeah, there you go. Another episode of the Jankity Ass is in the can. No, that's probably not the right word.
In the bank.
In the bank, sure. Number 44. Once again, find this podcast anywhere you like listening to podcasts, and also on YouTube under Multi-Murdy Media. Also check out Multi-Murdy Media on Instagram and Facebook to get all the updates on all the shows coming out for this and my other channels, which again are Gutsy Ass Gamer and the Poncho's Paint Booth, which is exclusively on YouTube because, I mean, obviously an audio version of me painting models would be stupid.
Or revolutionary. You never know.
No.
Hey man,
Yeah,
blind people want painting tutorials too. All right, you never know. Just diversify your range, your scope.
think
Find your niche.
I'm pretty sure the world's not ready for that. Like at all. And of course, Tom here, he's got his other show that he's going to be on in a bit.
Yeah, it's so I'm also, if you want to find me anywhere else, I'm on TFG Radio, where I talk about Warhammer 40K and other hobby stuff, along with the Las Vegas Open Judges. Fun show. We mixed it up, some yin, some yang. It's great.
Which hopefully we'll get an actual LVO here next year.
Next year. Hey, I'm hoping for dude. SoCal Open comes out. I'm fucking there. I am there.
I would actually be surprised if they don't do it because it is Orange County.
True, but at that point we may be enough. But there's also a ton of other opens too. Like we got the Atlantic City one, and apparently they're doing a New Orleans one now too.
I'm not going there. Fuck
no, but I know. But like if
this.
I had the time and money, I'd totally go to the New Orleans one. I've been to Atlantic City, but I've always wanted to go to New Orleans.
I can see that. When is Mardi Gras? That's pretty soon.
Mardi Gras is a week out from Tuesday, I think. Pretty sure it's the 16th.
In February?
Yeah, because it's the day before Lent. So Mardi Gras.
Oh shit.
That's coming up. Mardi Gras 2021. Fucking right. Tuesday, February 16.
I was gonna say April or May or something like that, but
nah, dog.
I imagine it's gonna be bullshit this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be
most likely.
Yeah, the most we can hope for is a St. Patty's.
You get one beads.
Yeah, you get one beads. No talking to anybody, and you have to drink this.
It comes in a bag.
Yeah.
Just be like, well, I got my sanitizer right here. Internal sanitizer.
I got just sanitizer right here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess that'll do it for us. So, again, I already gave you all the info and all that
Yep.
bullshit. So,
All the bullshits.
we will see you guys next week.
Yep. See you, Space Cowboys.